So, hello. Our deck is pretty interesting. We ended up with 3 colors, mostly because of EXTUS, or Reek Overlord, which has the option of casting as Awaken the Blood Avatar. 3 colors means our mana base is going to be absolutely atrocious. However, we did manage to pick up a Silverquill campus and a Lorehold campus that was passed to us rather late. We are hoping to stay alive in the early game by generating a whole bunch of chump blockers, which we can sacrifice to summon the Blood Avatar, which would be an excellent game plan. Or we use them just to stay alive long enough to cast our Owl and Shield Mages, Combat Professor, Spectre of the Fens, and Mage Hunter to win the game. And Biblioplex Assistant hopefully can assist us in picking up some interesting kill spells. Of course, our lessons, we do have access to environmental sciences, which we will almost always use to fetch our mountains so that we can cast our meme mythic, Increasing Vengeance. If we ever get to cast this on our Blood Avatar, that will be the dream, but it requires 3 red sources out of our 5, so the chances of that happening is extremely low, but hey, we can dream. That's that, let's go! Ooh, we have all 3 colors. We have our meme card here. We have our hunt for specimens. Not bad. I didn't want to see Professor's Warning this early, but I guess we can't have it all. So we do need to draw some action cards though, because we have 2 very, very dead cards in our hand right now. We also didn't pick up any token summoning cards for our hunt for specimens, so we are also at a handicap there. But here, what am I talking about? I forgot we had pest summoning. Pest summoning might be a little bit expensive here. If we get environmental sciences and get the guaranteed 4 mana, at least we can have Spectre of Fens. We can fetch our mountain. So I don't think pest summoning is the best here. I think we do need to get our land base up and running first. Biblioplex, ooh, then this way we can get our hunt for specimens back, or another environmental sciences. Or actually, maybe we can get our Lorehold command up too. 1/1 token. Not going to do much for us. Our opponent takes a treasure token. That generally means they have multiple endgame cards in Prismari. Or they just play cards like that that will absolutely wreck us, because our deck has pretty much nothing that can deal with that. However, here with Increasing Vengeance, we can actually already play Biblioplex and get Hunt for Specimens and get 2 copies of it. That'd be pretty funny. Combat Professor is also pretty good here, so I think we will go ahead and cast Spectre of the Fens first. That way our Combat Professor can pump up our Spectre next turn. We will take 3 damage here, that's fine. For now, that's fine. Ooh, okay, that's kind of scary. I guess we do have the Lorehold command here, so I suppose we can just attack into this. Alternatively, we can play Combat Professor and still get the Maelstrom Muse with Professor's Warning. However, I think playing Lorehold command is slightly better here if we can get their Maelstrom Muse as well. We can get 2 tokens. Of course, our opponent does not take the bait, so we will cast Combat Professor and be happy with that. We still have Professor's Warning up to keep us safe. Although Maelstrom Muse is absolutely going to wreck us now. So next turn we are hoping to just attack and cast our Lorehold command somehow. Mage Duel is quite nice, but 3/4. I think we can get away with putting a 1/1 counter on it. How much do we need this creature? I'm gonna be risky and go for the 1/1 counter here. That way, if our opponent does decide to spend another spell to kill it, I wouldn't be mad about that. In fact, I don't think I would mind blocking the Maelstrom Muse right now. I think that's actually not a bad idea. I'm fine with that trade. Baleful Mastery will help us kill anything. Here we can play Lorehold Command, get the token, and get our creatures up. However, our opponent does have a kill spell, a counter spell held up, so let's hope for the best here. And the best did happen. We go in for a huge bunch of damage. Puts our opponent on the backdrop. We do have Baleful Mastery to clear the board next turn. Opponent plays Field Trip, which does not help them survive that much against a Baleful Mastery. In fact, we can cast Baleful Mastery with Increasing Vengeance. We can blow up 2 creatures right now. Okay, our opponent Mage Duels us, which is fine. However, if they attack, they will be very sorry, I think. Our opponent is flooding out a little bit, but they did cast a Field Trip, so maybe not. We can play Biblioplex Assistant and get our Lorehold command back. Which I think is fine, because we can still hold up Baleful Mastery like this. And we get another flyer on the board, so that's excellent. We don't really care about the pests all that much. Plus summoning, okay. Again, not that scary. Golden Ratio, our opponent draws 2 cards, which is not that scary. Our opponent has even more lands. With an emergent sequence. Alright, so our opponent is loading up on creatures. It is a 2/2 creature, which is not too scary. Our turn, we have Lorehold Command again. We can absolutely wreck them with another token and another +1/+0 indestructible turn. So I think that's what we're going to do here. Is there a way I can win sooner? I don't think so. I think my best bet is to do this exact same thing again. We get rid of some tokens and deal 1 damage for our efforts. But we do end up with 1 extra token. So now if we cast Baleful Mastery and Increasing Vengeance, it's looking a lot better. Unless our opponent has board wipe. Why would our opponent be attacking with this 3/4 if they don't have a board wipe? Ah, they have 2 4/4s. Oh, excellent, excellent. So if we blow up the 2 4/4s, our opponent will block one of our 3/2s, and then we will have 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. So I think that's the plan. And we won't even need to sweat it. We don't need to let our opponent draw extra cards. I think we have this in the bag. However, we need to make sure copy target instant. So we have to have this on the stack first. We will have to manually tap our mana for this. We want to exile target creature, and we do Increasing Vengeance. Copy that spell. Make sure we are targeting the right one, so and our opponent sees it, sees the damage. Our opponent can't sustain that much, and we take the win. Here we go. Here we go. What do we got? Ooh. Well, we have Awaken the Blood Avatar, but we have no way to cast it. We have 0 playable cards. Unfortunately, I think we were going to have to mulligan here. We literally have 0 playable cards here. But we have the Awakened Blood Avatar. But here we go. Much better. Arrogant Poet. Spiteful Squad. Mage Hunter. Lorehold Command. I suppose we will have to bin the Mage Hunter. I think that's more of a flex creature. Our Spiteful Squad should be able to keep us alive a lot more than the Mage Hunter can. Unless our opponent is going wide. But we will have to see. Obviously not excited about this hand, but the way we drafted, we are a little bit short on the low drops. So when the opening hand only gives us 2 lands and no playable cards, it's not really a good idea to keep that hand. Excavated Wall. Okay, so our opponent's looking to wall off. I'm not too mad about that. We have an Arrogant Poet that can potentially fly over that at the cost of our life. I am perfectly fine with that. Zephyr Boost. Flying Wall. Very scary, very scary. Okay, we draw the EXTUS. We draw the EXTUS. Our opponent is milling cards, and they are in white. What are they hoping to mill? Very curious. Well, they do have a Flying Wall now, so that's pleasant. However, I do have a Killian over here, which can keep our offense up and running. I don't think there's a point in attacking. There are no black cards we can flex. We will end up just running right into the wall. Ooh, our opponent has 2 colors now. So with black, they can have Baleful Mastery. They can have a whole bunch of cool cards. Promising Dusk Mage is not the scariest. Ooh, we do hit the 4 mana, so we can either play EXTUS or Spiteful Squad, I think will be better here. It does give us Death Touch. We don't really have a reason to play Baleful Mastery yet, and we can't attack with Killian because we have nothing. If we draw a Mountain next turn, that would be awesome. We could get Lorehold Command going. Fusion is an odd choice considering our opponent can't attack with that creature this turn. 5 mana, we can just get rid of the Shadowwing Laureate straight up. We can sacrifice all of our creatures to summon the Blood Avatar. Oh, we cannot, actually. I don't have red mana yet. So I think Baleful Mastery to eliminate the Shadowwing Laureate is a good idea. We can attack with the Spiteful Squad. Hopefully it will blow up one of our opponent's creatures. I'd gladly trade Promising Dusk Mage for it. But yeah, based on what I see, I'm going to have to eliminate the flyer and attack with our Death Touch creature. If we trade with this, I will still gain value with the 1/1 counters, so I am happy with that. And then if they don't, I can cast EXTUS and still gain value that way. Witherbloom Pledge Mage is not a concern to me, so I will leave it at that. We have an Eye Twitch, which is perfect timing for us. We can cast the EXTUS. And we won't attack because we do need the Spiteful Squad to block the Pledge Mage. Although, I think, maybe since I have the Eye Twitch to chump block, we will attack with the Spiteful Squad. We want to get our Killian as big as possible, or even our Arrogant Poet. Yep, if our opponent attacks with the Pledge Mage here, I will just block with the Twitch. In fact, that would be really bad for our opponent. That will allow us to pick up the Environmental Sciences and get us a Mountain. Our opponent is thinking about it. Our opponent is attacking and donating a card to us. Another card I could get is Necrotic Fumes. If I get Necrotic Fumes back, I can exile one of my creatures, probably Arrogant Poet, to get rid of one of their creatures. But then I'll never be able to cast Lorehold Command. If I get Lorehold Command, I might have trouble with their Gigantic Flyer. But I think Lorehold Command will hold us because our EXTUS has double strike. I think we will win the race. So I'm going to take a gamble here and go for Environmental Sciences. This is a very, very aggressive move. The safer play was definitely to pick up the fumes just to get rid of it. The rest of our board is quite powerful. Oh, in fact, I think that might have been the better play. However, even with Environmental Sciences, actually, we do get the Eye Twitch back. So here, I suppose I can attack with these two creatures. I won't pay the 2 life because I don't... Well, actually I do. I can't lose it to the Promising Dusk Mage. Our opponent takes the damage. We will cast Environmental Sciences and we should be able to get our Eye Twitch back. And we gain access to our mountain. We can play the Eye Twitch. Again to block our opponent. Can play the mountain, and then now we are on our way. Why does it say I can cast this? I don't have 5 mana, do I? I'm very confused. Oh, I can cast it on Killian Ink Duelist. But then I'd have to deal 3 damage to it, so that seems kind of silly. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'd have to kill my own Killian just to get that going. Okay, so it looks like our opponent does not want to donate any more cards to us. We don't have any more creatures, so I don't think we need to play our Lorehold Command. I think we can slowly bleed our opponent to death if we just keep attacking with our Spiteful Squad here. Okay, our opponent finally gives up. Yep, I'm fine with losing this. Our opponent mills a card and mills Flunk, which is great. We will put it on our Killian, I suppose. For lifelink Menace. Or we can make this a 4/6 double strike, so I think I'm fine with that. And we can play the Owlin Fieldwood here. Ooh, we draw our second mountain here. So I think my best bet here is to attack with everything and see what happens. I will pay the life. Sure, I can afford the 2 life. Give my opponents less options. Okay, so if those are our opponent's choices, we can deal 3 damage to the Withered Bloom and give our creatures +1/+0 and indestructible. I think that's probably the best bet here. Yeah, that way we can save our Owlin. We will do this one and this one. Creatures we control deals 3 damage to target. Target player gains 3 life. And we get our Spiteful Squad back. Why did this only cost 3 mana? Oh, suppose you cast that card any creature. Oh, I thought it was just this creature. Wow, my deck is absolutely broken here. Alright, we comboed out. Lorehold command is absolutely broken, and we take another victory. Fun times ahead. And here we are. Alright, we have Hunt for Specimens, we have Lorehold command, we have all 3 colors. What more can we ask for? Let's go. I think I will go for Environmental Sciences just so we can enable our increasing vengeance. Let's show white. I think white is the more innocuous color here. Oh, an Umbro Juke to protect it as well. Let's go Environmental Sciences. If we had the white avatar in hand already, I would have definitely gone for pests instead. Alas, we do not have pests, so we will go for environmental sciences instead. And get our mountain again. We can get our Spiteful Squad out already, or we could Umbro Juke our opponent, or we can get the 2/1 token. Eye Twitch is excellent here. We can get Eye Twitch, we can get the token, and if we draw a mountain, we can go nuts. We do only have 1 black mana though, so with that in mind, we might want to get our flyer out first. Our opponent is mana screwed though, so... Five mana here. We can absolutely cast Awaken the Blood Avatar already if we are really greedy. Or we could wait for Increasing Vengeance. So, let's cast the Squad. And attack with the Twitch. I want to be greedy here. I want to get 2 Blood Avatar tokens. And maybe bait out our opponent's counter spells too. If our opponent has Reject or other things, yep. Needle going great, okay. We're fine attacking into that. Yep, giving our Eye Twitch Vigilance would be quite nice. Also bait out any kill spells. I click dies, we can get some pests. We can get a lot of pests actually. Maybe I just play Lorehold command? No, let's get our tokens ready first. No. I can get a token and blow up their thorn, so I think that's actually pretty good. We'll get a spirit, and we'll deal 3 damage. Oh man, our opponent was mana screwed, so we got a free win there. Oh, we were 1 mountain away from absolutely comboing off. If I had just cast the Blood Avatar, I think we would have won there instantly. I guess they did have a lot of Death Touch creatures. We'd have to bowl through those before we can do anything with their Avatar, but yeah, our opponent was stuck at 2 mana, so we just got a free win, and now our deck decides to punish us with all of our most expensive cards in our deck. We absolutely cannot keep this hand. We only have 1 of our 2 colors. So many cards that we can possibly draw are all dead cards, so we have to mulligan here, unfortunately. This doesn't look that bad, actually, because we have 2 learn cards that can get our environmental sciences and our pests. So Biblioplex can go, because Baleful Master will be what we use to keep ourselves safe. And I think we are off to the races here. Double black is not bad. So let's get our token out first. Why not? We can get environmental sciences first, I think might be safe. Pest summoning, we don't need the pests just yet. Although, if I cast a pest next turn, it might be pretty good. Particularly if I draw a plains next turn. Maybe I don't need to get environmental sciences. We can skip right to necrotic fumes. Opponent does not have anything, so let's attack for 1 damage. And see what happens when we cast pest summoning. Unfortunately is nothing. Our opponent still has no plays, so we can drop a mountain. Attack for 3. Play an Eye Twitch, so we can potentially learn more cards, and we can still cast Cram Session and get necrotic fumes. Or do we get... No, we do need environmental sciences. We need our planes in case we... Oh, we do have a white card. We absolutely need to have Lorehold command out. Man, I'm just thinking about Killian again. Killian reduces your cost by 2 if any of your spells target any creature, not just itself. I always thought it was if you targeted Killian, you would get the discount. But apparently that is not the case. So here we can get some value. If we get environmental sciences, we can still hold up Baleful Mastery. Or we can just cast Spiteful... Oh, we can't cast Spiteful Squad, so this is what we're going to have to do. We will get the white mana. We will play said white mana and pass the turn. We're all set up for our Awaken the Blood avatar now. So that's all we're waiting for. If our opponent does anything weird here, we can Baleful Mastery still as a panic button. If not, we will probably get Spiteful Squad out and try and wipe our opponent out with Lorehold Command. Our opponent has Witherbloom Pledge Mage, which I believe is fine with me. Our opponent does not choose to kill it. So yeah, I will get the Spiteful Squad out. If we get out Killian, Lorehold Command is 3 to cast, so no attacks here. We don't have a good target for Spiteful Squad until we get Killian out. So I think we'll just take the 2 damage here. I don't really need my Necrotic Fumes just yet. I would rather have this token here to soak up the Lorehold Command. Ooh, our Baleful Mastery can oh, it costs 1 mana? No, 2 mana then. Oh man. What happens if I try and cast this? Oh, but I don't have white mana to cast that. I still have Baleful Mastery up. Don't think I will attack. I need defense for the Pledge Mage. I suppose I will block this turn. I will get my Necrotic Fumes going. I can cast both Necrotic Fumes and Lorehold Command. One counter on the Fens. Okay. So here maybe I want to cast Baleful Mastery. I can get rid of one of my opponent's creatures. Our opponent won't get the 1/1 counter, so I think we will cast it on our opponent's Spectre. Our opponent cannot protect that. Ooh, okay, another land, so 4 mana, and we can still use Necrotic Fumes. We can still cast Necrotic Fumes here, which we will. Exile target creature. I don't want to deal with that because we can still Lorehold Command and destroy the Laureate, so I think that's what we're going to do. We exile a token, we don't gain the life, but we get to blow up our opponent's Pledge Mage. Our opponent once again cannot protect that with Professor's Warning. So here we can just attack with Killian And hope for a chump block on the Spiteful Squad. So yeah, we will attack for 2 and gain some life. Killian plus Lorehold command. Man, what a great combo. Depending on what our opponent does here, we might be able to blow them out next turn. If not, we can just slowly drain them with Spectre of the Fence. Blot Out the Sky. Ooh, that's very scary. That's a lot of flying tokens here. Five times 2, that's only 10 damage. Lorehold command, we deal 3 damage to that, and +1/+0 to all of our creatures. Our Spiteful Squad will die. Our opponent will take 4, 7, 10 damage. Our opponent will be at 4. So that seems pretty good, because then we just have Spectre of Fens and we can drain them out. So I think that's what we're going to go with. Creatures we control deal 3 damage to that. Target a player goes here. Attack with all of our creatures. Blot Out the Sky is very, very scary. Our opponent is at 4, so they are very close to dying straight up. We have 30 life. That's plenty of life to work with. We have Killian, which has Menace, so our opponent has to leave at least 2 creatures back. Hunt the Specimen to give them 1 token. Ooh, more tokens. Okay, so they can survive for a little bit. But we have Spectre of the Fens. Don't really care about any of that. That's of little consequence to us. We can play the Owl and Shield Mage, but is there a point? I don't think there is, so let's just do that. Our Owlin is never going to get through. Our opponent is never going to cast anything on it, and if we can't get through, I think the Spectre of the Fens is just faster of a route to victory, but it is kind of risky. Developing the board might work, but we are basically hyper-focused in trying to get rid of it, so at this point we will have to activate it and hope for the best here. Opponent does manage to draw an answer. But now we can cast Owl and Shield Mage, and our opponent will have a fun time dealing with that. A land is not what we needed, but we do have Owl and Shield Mage, so hopefully that's enough. We can definitely attack with the Spiteful Squad because we don't need it. Our opponent will gain 2 life. However, so maybe we don't do anything. We do have lots of outs. We haven't drawn our Mage Hunter, our Mage Hunter's Onslaught yet. That might help. our Blood Avatar will definitely help. We can instantly cast it and just attack and deal 3 damage instantly. Biblioplex will get back Mage Hunter's Onslaught, but that won't help. Oh, Blot Out the Sky. Ooh. Okay, so our chances of victory is quickly dwindling here. I think we are forced to block here. We can't sustain that much more damage. If our opponent has a pump spell, we are screwed. Okay, so we are pretty much screwed. Especially if we just keep drawing lands. Well, it turns out our multiple bombs couldn't keep up with 2 Blot Out the Skies, which is also an absolute bomb. If only we had Cinderclasm, that would be hilarious. Oh, there's another land. Essence Infusion is interesting, but not really going to get us where we need it. Owlin Shield Mage is also not going to do it for us, so that is the game. Nothing we can do here. So at the very least, this felt like a real game. Both of our opponents, both of us, both my opponent and myself, drew a reasonable amount of lands. We drew a reasonable amount of spells. We had plenty of interaction. But at the end of the day, our opponent had the ability to cast 2 Blot Out the Skies, which is an absolute bomb. And as you can see, completely wrecks anybody who can't kill multiple tokens at once. And that is very difficult to do in this set without a board wipe. It's a lot of flying damage, and we just did not draw what we needed to get through that. I'm trying to think of which cards could have gotten us that. Like, Umbral Juke is absolutely useless in our in that situation. I think literally the only card that we could have drawn to help us win after Spectre of the Fens died was our EXTUS. Yeah, Owlin Shield Mage wouldn't have helped us. Even if we had kept that alive, that wouldn't have helped us. We only blocked 2 damage per turn at most. And in fact, that's how it died in the first place. We'll never be able to attack with it because the same thing would happen. They would just cast the Make Your Mark. Rise of EXTUS, what are we going to get? Our lesson is going to get us Illuminate History, maybe. I suppose we can draw a bunch of cards and hope for EXTUS. So maybe that was a viable plan. Yeah, Necrotic Fumes wouldn't help us. Pest Summoning we had already summoned. So yeah, we only had 1 out in our entire deck. Ooh, Mage Hunter's Onslaught would also have helped us. If we cast that, our opponent can't block, and we did have multiple creatures. So we had 2 outs that game. We had Mage Hunter's Onslaught, along with EXTUS, which, you know, we can generate the 3/6 black red avatar token, and it deals 3 damage automatically every time it attacks. So if we had drawn that, we would have been fine. Mage Hunter's Onslaught. If our opponent blocks, they lose. If they don't block, they lose. So those were our 2 outs. We did not draw either of them, unfortunately. But hey, that was a hell of a game. We finally lost to Blot Out the Sky. That card should win every single game it is played anyway. So yeah, I'm glad we got to see that. I don't mind losing to cards like that. Thank you so much for watching. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And I don't know, follow me on Twitch. I guess I'm also on Twitch. What are we at? 3-1? 3-1 with your card. Tying the rubber. Very curious, very curious. Alright, so we have all 3 colors. We have our EXTUS. Combat Press is pretty good. Baleful Mastery is... well, I guess we'll just have to hope for the best here. Can't really complain about a hand that gives us all 3 colors. Eliminate, well, that will keep us alive a little bit longer. We do need 4 mana though. Okay, that's a good target to blow up. 3 mana, that's not gonna do it. We still need a 4th land. We don't get a 4th land, so we are stuck. Hopefully we draw a land next turn. Again, very unlucky here, drawing all of our 4 spells. Supposedly we'll have to take 1 damage. 1 damage isn't too bad. We don't need to Baleful Master yet. Woe Eater is quite nasty. So I think I will go ahead and exile that. I'd rather let our opponent draw a card. Absolutely cannot deal with that. Although, I suppose we had Mage Hunter's Onslaught, so maybe I went a little bit premature here. So we don't have any creatures in our graveyard, so I think our best bet is to get Spectre of the Fens out, bait out some kill spells, and then hopefully we can get our Combat Professor going. Spectre of the Fens is not as valuable to us this early in the game when we only have 4 lands. Like, if we were late game and drew into Spectre of the Fens, I'd rather play Combat Professor first. For example, this happens, which is not surprising at all. But we will get our Combat Professor out. However, we can play EXTUS here. EXTUS is not too bad, but I think I'd rather get a 5th land, so maybe preferably a swamp. Or, yeah, as long as we have another land, we can play EXTUS and hold up Professor's Warning. I think at that point we should be safe to play EXTUS. Fanatic again. Restless Necromancer. Alright. Dina. We won't block that. We're vigilant, so we want to get in at least some damage before we do anything. Unfortunately, Mage Hunter's Onslaught is a sorcery. I think I will have to hold on to that just a little bit longer. Attack for that. Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Professor's Warning. I guess I'll have to be inefficient here. And I'll just see what my opponent does. Yeah, there wasn't a really good target for us to use Mage Hunters. Leech Fanatic is pretty annoying, but... suppose I can just take 2 damage. If our opponent taps up mana to deal an extra 2 damage to us, that's actually probably not too bad in our favor. Our opponent can't cast spells, we didn't cast any spells, so we're about the same there in terms of efficiency. But at the very least, we do have Vigilance. We have a Mage Hunter that can hold the line a little bit. Once again, we won't block that just yet. Fifth land is what we're looking for, so now we can do a lot of fun stuff. I think what we want to do is probably hold up Lorehold command. We can deal 3 damage to our opponent's Amplimancer after they tap. So if that's the plan, I think we just once again attack with the Professor and call it a day. Reckless Amplimancer again. Suppose I can block it. Let's see what our opponent does. Taps out for that, so I think I will get indestructible here, so that at least I can kill it, and then I'll deal 3 damage to the Dina. Yep, so that was quite nice. We can play the EXTUS now, or we can hunt for specimens to get our pests, and then we can get our EXTUS out. Oh, don't know why that tap double black for us. That's kind of silly. Unfortunately, that stalls us out 1 turn. That is really... Oh, I guess it was trying to save mana for that. I'm not going to sacrifice all 3 of these creatures just yet. Next turn we can get that out, unless our opponent has a big creature like that. Okay, we get another land, so that's not too bad here. We will cast our Pest. We will get our Awaken the Blood Avatar. We can sacrifice 3. 1, 2, 3. Gain a bunch of life. Our opponent sacrifices the creature. We get... We'll pump out our Avatar in case our opponent has something weird. Our opponent does not. So we're sitting pretty nice. We have the Mage Hunter, even though we don't have Professor's Warning as defense at the moment. We do have the Mage Hunter to snipe away at our opponent. Life Mage isn't going to help our opponent. Pest Summoning also isn't going to help our opponent. When we have Flying, we have the Avatar. It doesn't really matter. In fact, we can make it really bad for our opponent and just cast Mage Hunter's Onslaught. 5 damage isn't going to make a difference. Our opponent could still have a kill spell here, but kill spell isn't really going to stop all of our threats, so there we go. So here we are, 4-1. We have Hunt for Specimens to get our planes, so I think this hand is a keep here. We have all 3 colors, technically. So, yep, like I said, can't really complain. We'll start with the Swamp in case we do draw a Plains. Then we can maybe consider starting with Killian right off the bat. But of course we don't, so we will cast the Hunt for Specimens instead. Get the Environmental Sciences going. So we do need the double black for Mage Hunter's Onslaught, so I'm kind of hoping we draw a land next turn to decide which color of land we fetch into. If we get a Plains, I think I'll search for a Swamp, but if I don't get a Plains, I will have to search for a plane so we can enable some of our weaker, our lower cast. Opponent gets hunt for specimens. Nice, 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 nice. Good for you. They get the Inkling. Okay, 2/1 flyer is kind of annoying. Okay, so we see the swamp, which means we can... We don't have any 3 to cast spells, unfortunately, so we are stuck playing Environmental Sciences. Very inefficient, but not much else we can do. Combat Professor is very annoying. Very, very good card. Yeah, I think because the tokens we can maybe sacrifice for some value. Don't think we can get rid of that just yet, so let's get the Killian here, which makes all of our spells cheaper. Mage Hunter's Onslaught we could cast if we had black, but we don't have black, so we will have to be fine with casting the Arrogant Poet and leaving it be. So next turn we have Lorehold Command coming up, or Mage Hunter's Onslaught, both of which will cost much less mana. Mage Hunter's Onslaught will cost 2 black, and Lorehold Command will cost 3, so we can actually cast both on the same turn, because Killian is in play. So we should be gaining a bunch of life, blowing up our opponent's board pretty badly, and doing all sorts of good stuff. Okay, our opponent gets a really, really powerful life linker now, just for this one turn. Combat Professor is going to go on it. Opponent will gain 4 life. That's quite nice for them, and they can summon a flying token as well. So, Eliminate costs 1 mana, Mage Hunters cost 2. Lorehold Command, we can gain haste and Lightning Helix something. Or you can gain a token. We want to blow up as many of their flyers as we possibly can this turn, so... we will definitely do this. We will gain indestructible and target a creature. So let's blow up Combat Professor right off the bat and we will gain the life. And we still have Mage Hunter's Onslaught, but mana 3 or less, so maybe we save that and just eliminate our opponent's Stonerise Spirit here. And then we can attack with all of our creatures. And gain some life back. That might not have been the best idea, considering Mage Hunter's Onslaught does cost 2 black, so it might have been more efficient for me to spend both of my black mana to cast Mage Hunter's Onslaught there. But I figured our opponent really isn't going to block there anyway. And Eliminate is a little bit restrictive. We can only destroy target with mana value 3 or less. Okay, 1/1 counter. And the flyer. Alright, that's going to die instantly. Baleful Mastery, okay. That's pretty good. Do kind of want to get some of my other creatures out. can get Baleful Mastery for 2, but I'm still a little bit short on mana. But I absolutely cannot let this continue. So maybe I kill the Inkcaster and attack with these two. So I can gain some life back. Do I pay the life? Probably not. I mean, I'd rather get rid of their token. That way Killian will be quite unstoppable if we get rid of their 1/1 token. Combat potential comes out again. Okay. Two vigilance, very annoying. So we definitely want to play a creature and get rid of our opponent's combat professor. Let's see what happens if we attack with Killian. Then maybe we can Baleful something nicely. Okay, our opponent just takes the damage, which is fine with me. I will cast Mage Hunter. And I suppose I can hold up Baleful Mastery. I want to play Mage Hunter first just in case our opponent has any annoying kill spells. That way we can at least get some value out of that. And also, Spectre of the Fens, I didn't want to get my flyers out until at least one of those were dead. Our opponent might make some aggressive decisions here, seeing that I don't have any flyers. Oh, okay. 6 damage. Let's see what happens. Okay, 3 damage I will take. Allen Shield Mage, and we can still cast Baleful Mastery, I think, maybe? But I think Spectre of the Fens is good enough. Let's see what happens if we attack with Killian and Mage Hunter. Put on the pressure. Our opponent does have 5 mana open, so it's kind of risky for them. Or risky for me, I should say. I could cast my Allen Shield Mage. But I think the safer way is for me to definitely try and get rid of one of their flyers. Okay, so the Mage Hunter gets chump blocked. Make Your Mark comes in. Our opponent loses 1 life. I'm fine with our opponent gaining that token. has Eliminate, which is unpleasant. But we can just... exile our opponent's combat protector. And we still get a flying creature to boot, so I'm fine with that. Next turn, we're still not looking to activate the Spectre of Defense yet. We're definitely going to play our Owlin first. We need to keep ourselves alive here. Arrogant Poet, I think I'll just Trump Block for now. Yeah, I'll just Trump Block for now. I think I'd rather gain the life now than later. Holland Shield Mage, looks like I have no other choice but to play this. It's 5 damage. Draws a card and loses 1 life. Gets us 1 closer to winning. Owlin Shield Mage is a pretty big threat for our opponent. It's a 3/3 flyer that they have to deal with. Essence Infusion would be pretty bad for us right now. Our opponent will just make this a 5/3 lifelink, and that will put us very far behind, even if the trade goes through. Guiding Voice is pretty annoying. Pests are very annoying. They are very pesty. Fortunately, we do get to block like this. I don't think I need to care about the Inkling just yet. I feel like I'm getting baited because they had the pest summoning and they're still leaving their mana open. So they either save their token here, or they just lose. I do have 5 points of flying coming in on their turn, even if they cast Pest Summoning. Okay, so our opponent lets that through. Opponent plays a land. Cast Pest Summoning. Okay, so we have Lorehold Campus. We're just going to attack with the Owlin, which they have to respond to, and of course, if they respond to it, they still lose 3 damage, and then I still drain them for 6 or for 2, so it doesn't matter what our opponent does there. We had the damage for the win. This is our next match. Ooh, okay, all four colors, or all 3 colors. We have Hunt for Specimens, we have Mage Hunter, and we have our best removal, so I think we're going to have to keep this. Unfortunately, our opponent gets to go first, so... Okay, they took a mulligan, though. Probably to our advantage. Unless, of course, we never see any other cards other than lands. If we get colors, pretty unfortunate. Or management. So far, so good. Let's get Pest Summoning out. It seems like we have plenty of mana already, although we don't have 2 black. We have another Learn in Rise of EXTUS, so maybe we do get Environmental. just to get that second swamp. Opponent uses one of the best removal spells in the set to get rid of our 1/1 token, so that's cool. Can't complain about that. Suppose I'll cast Environmental Science. We have 2 mountains, so I will get that second swamp here. We have 3 plains. Get that second swamp. Or look at that mountain in here. I don't think I have anything to hit black. Well, oh, what am I doing? I already have black in play, so I would have hit double black next turn anyway. Don't care too much about that. That card is fine. Guess I'm casting. I don't want to. Well, I can't block Killian anyway, so. So our opponent has Sword for Clouds, okay. That's pretty solid for our opponent here. Even though they only get to tap 1 creature, yep, they get to make a massive, massive creature. Confusion is quite good. Opponent just gains 8 life from this one play. Quite big, quite good. And the tokens stay, so that's really good. I want to make sure I have enough colors to do this. Let's do Essence and don't have 2 creatures to block Killian anyway, so let's attack and gain some life. Wow, our opponent just wombo comboed their deck. That's kind of silly. And all we drew were lands. Wow. Unfortunately, we actually have to eliminate our opponent's Rise of EXTUS. We can get rid of one of their Essence, and we can get Necrotic Fumes. It's the only way we can survive. So here we can... Ooh, let's double black. That's very risky. Okay, so we don't have any other creatures to get back anyway, so I guess we might as well cast this. We are at a very precarious 3 life though, so if our opponent finds a way through our Mage Hunter, we are very screwed. Any kill spell will do. Eager First Year does get +1/+0. If our opponent has any kill spells at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ironically, we can cast Awaken the Blood Avatar for full mana. Don't think we are quite in the aggressive stage yet. I think we just need to get more creatures out. If our opponent has another Study Break, we are definitely screwed. Because the Rune Master does not improve our situation. Umbral Juke is pretty solid for us here. we don't have any creatures to get back because they went into exile. So I think maybe hard casting Awaken the Blood Avatar isn't the worst idea here. Sacrifice 0. You can pay the full cost. Okay. Opponent is forced to sacrifice a creature, so let's start the onslaught here. We will attack with just the Avatar. Opponent's guaranteed to lose some life. That was a risky attack. Again, if our opponent had Study Break, they'd win right here. But they do not. Ooh, okay, Lorehold Campus is pretty good. We do get to scry. Our opponent is mana screwed, it looks like it might be. I think I feel pretty safe attacking with 2 creatures now. Because I have the Umbro Juke to force our opponent to sacrifice the Lumimancer. The reason we have to step up the aggression here is we can't afford to let our opponent draw too many cards because eventually they'll draw an answer. And since I do have a way to deal with their threat, we just have to move on with the aggression. Okay, so our opponent is attacking. We have to block here. Our opponent casts a spell and chooses a 1/1 counter, which is fine. So I will force our opponent to sacrifice a creature. And I believe I have enough for lethal here, so I will swing for lethal. And there you have it. Our opponent was stuck on 4 lands, so I think that's why we won. So we'll count that as a free win and move on. Our opponent wombo comboed way out of the gates though, even though they did get mana screwed afterwards. Yikes, I suppose. Alright, 2 colors with access to our 3rd, and we have Eye Twitch on our 1st turn, and we're going first, so wow. Depending on our land draw, this could be one of the best hands we've had so far. Coming in game 7, I think that's pretty solid. Ooh, Hunt for Specimens, we have the mountain already, wow. Okay. We're up against Prismari. Let's get Environmental Sciences just in case. I feel like just in case we run out of cards or something, we do want that up and ready. Okay, 3. No reason not to cast our Environmental Sciences here. We will get our double black. Double black will give us access to Mage Hunter's Onslaught. That's very important for us in our deck. Tome Shredder, okay. It's not too bad of a threat. Ooh, we have Lorehold Command, so that's pretty good. Let's get the Mage Hunter going. We can attack with Nightwitch. Mage Hunter hopefully will annoy our opponent, depending on what kind of cards they're running in their deck. I'm hoping the Mage Hunter does something here. Attacks all of their curates. Attacks all of their berry in books. Dome Artist is pretty powerful. Ooh, wow, we have the Lorehold Command and the Biblioplex coming in. Okay. Well, I guess we are attacking with all of our creatures. Okay. Cast the Lorehold Command, get the +1/+0, and the 3 damage. We'll clear our opponent's board. This Lorehold Command is absolutely broken here. Look at this. We've cleared our opponent's board. And we can still get it back with Biblioplex Assistant next turn. Our opponent is very far behind. Although Prismari, you tend to be far behind and you cast something like Elemental So our opponent decides to do that, which is fine with me. I'll just cast the fire and get our Lorehold command back. That card is absolutely bonkers. Can our opponent mill us? Our opponent cannot. We are lucky. We got our wombo combo off in game 7. So there we go. We do a 7-1, and yeah, I think that's pretty sweet. So 7-1, how we did this is we drafted Lorehold command, which is absolutely broken. This command is easily the most powerful out of all of them. We had Killian in our deck, which allowed us to play Lorehold command for 3 mana. That's absolutely insane. We had Biblioplex Assistance, get our Lorehold command back. Absolutely insane. We had EXTUS, which you can play as Awaken the Blood avatar. It's kind of cute when you have a bunch of useless Hunt for Specimens and Pest summoning cards. That lets you take advantage of that. You sacrifice 3 creatures, which, you know, technically you gain 3 life. Then you get to Awaken the Blood avatar, which forces your opponent to kill one of their own creatures. And you get a 3/6 creature that deals 3 damage every time you attack with it. I mean, just saying that makes it sound absolutely insane. We had the Owlin Shield Mages that punched in a couple of points of damage and held Disguise for us 1 or 2 of those games. Rise of EXTUS, absolutely powerful removal card because it's it replaces itself essentially. Combat Professor does its thing. Mage Hunter gets a few points of damage every time you play it, so I mean, can't really complain about the Mage Hunter. Spectre of Defense is pretty good. Mage Hunter's Onslaught did its job. Spiteful Swat did its job holding the line as well. So yeah, all in all, we had a very awkward curve. You can see most of our cards were 2s and 4s, but all of our 4 cards were absolute powerhouse cards. And of course, how do you lose with Lorehold command if you're playing those colors? You don't. So there you have it. That's how we did it. We did the 7-1. Very excited. Yurt the Turd is very excited as well. Let's see. Oh wait, we are guaranteed the 2 packs there. So there we go. We got the 2 packs. Thank you so much for watching. If you're on YouTube, please like and or subscribe. And if you prefer the Twitch, follow me on Twitch, and hopefully I will see you around. Thanks for watching.